Over the years, the MCU has had its share of recasts for various reasons. Known for its connected universe, Marvel has kept most of its main actors around thanks to multi-film contracts. But some roles have changed as the MCU has grown. Marvel Studios swaps actors for different characters from big heroes to smaller side roles. Some of these recasts were well publicized, while others happened quietly behind the scenes. With 5 MCU phases under its belt, it's no surprise that some roles needed fresh faces. So here's a rundown of every Marvel character that's been recast in the MCU. James Rhodes as War Machine. The MCU's first ever recast happened right at the beginning. Terrence Howard originally played James Rhodes in Iron Man, even having the highest salary among the cast. The film hinted at Rhodes suiting up as War Machine in the sequel, but by Iron Man 2, Howard had been replaced by Don Cheadle. While rumors pointed to a pay dispute due to Robert Downey Jr.'s growing salary, Marvel never officially commented. Cheadle has since continued as War Machine, carrying on the role for nearly a decade. Bruce Banner as the Hulk. After Edward Norton's well-received performance as Bruce Banner in The Incredible Hulk, he was expected to return as the Hulk for the Avengers. But right before filming, Marvel announced they were recasting the role, citing a need for someone who fit better with the MCU's collaborative spirit. Mark Ruffalo stepped in, and over time, fans learned creative differences may have fueled the change. Fandral. The role of Fandral, a member of Asgard's Warriors 3, went through a unique series of recasts. Initially, Thor director Kenneth Branagh wanted Zachary Levi for the role, but due to scheduling conflicts with Chuck, Josh Dallas took over. Then when Thor: The Dark World began filming, Dallas was busy with Once Upon a Time, allowing Levi to reclaim the part. Unfortunately, Fandral's screen time in Thor: Ragnarok was cut short as Hela quickly dispatched the Warriors 3, bringing their story to an abrupt end. Howard Stark. Howard Stark has actually been played by 3 actors in the MCU. Gerard Sanders first appeared as Tony Stark's father in Iron Man, though he had no lines. So when John Slattery took over in Iron Man 2, Captain America, Civil War, and Avengers Endgame, the change was barely noticeable. Then Dominic Cooper joined the MCU to portray a younger Howard in Captain America, the first Avenger, and Agent Carter, fitting the timeline's period setting and making the character's different look more justified. Hugo Weaving initially brought Red Skull to life in Captain America, the first Avenger as Cap's first big enemy, Johann Schmidt, who becomes the Red Skull after using an unstable version of the super soldier serum. He reappeared later as Vormir's guardian in Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame after years of absence, though portrayed this time by Ross Marquand, a talented voice impersonator. With Red Skull hidden behind heavy prosthetics, the recast wasn't obvious, especially since Marquand successfully matched Weaving's portrayal. Thanos. Josh Brolin is the face we all recognize as Thanos, but he wasn't the first to play the Mad Titan. In the Avengers, stuntman Damien Poitier took on the role for the end credits tease since Marvel hadn't officially cast the character yet. Brolin came aboard in Guardians of the Galaxy and continued as Thanos in Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame. Over the years, Thanos' design evolved, but his look stayed true to the comics, with CGI and prosthetics masking any major differences between Poitier's and Brolin's versions. Cassie Lang. Cassie Lang has gone through a couple of recasts. Abby Ryder-Fortson played young Cassie in the first 2 Ant-Man films, but in Avengers Endgame, Emma Furman took over to fit Cassie's older look after the time jump. By the time Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania rolled around, Furman was replaced by Kathryn Newton, whose rising fame in films like Freaky and Detective Pikachu likely made her a fitting choice for a bigger MCU role. Thaddeus Ross. William Hurt first brought Thaddeus Ross to life in The Incredible Hulk and returned as Ross in Captain America: Civil War, pushing for the Sokovia Accords. With Hurt's passing, Harrison Ford is stepping in to play Ross in Captain America: Brave New World, where Ross has become president of the U.S. In an exciting twist, Ross will transform into Red Hulk, a full-circle moment from his original MCU debut. Billy Maximoff. The most recent recast in the MCU, Joe Locke now plays Billy Maximoff, Wiccan, in Agatha, all along taking over from Julian Hilliard, who portrayed young Billy in WandaVision and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. While Billy was uncreated at the end of WandaVision, Agatha, all along, reveals that Billy's soul persisted, eventually inhabiting the body of William Kaplan, Locke, after a car accident. This explains Billy's new look as Wiccan in Phase 5, Reed Richards. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, John Krasinski appeared as Reed Richards from Earth 838's Illuminati, though he's not the main MCU timeline's Reed. In the upcoming Fantastic Four: The First Steps, July 2025, Pedro Pascal is set to play Reed Richards. With this movie set as a period piece, Pascal's version of Reed will bring a fresh take on the character. Jennifer Garner as Elektra. Jennifer Garner's cameo as Elektra in Deadpool and Wolverine was a thrilling addition, signaling her character's official entry into the MCU. Her return to Elektra came after the character's initial portrayal in 2003's Daredevil, where she became a standout even as the film struggled with audiences. Garner's Elektra received enough attention to merit a 2005 solo movie, setting her apart from Ben Affleck's Matt Murdock, who didn't continue beyond Daredevil. Ryan Reynolds and director Sean Levy specifically pitched Garner's reprisal, with Garner committing to an intense workout regime to prepare. Although Daredevil has since been rebooted with Charlie Cox in a gritty portrayal, Garner's cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine allowed her original Elektra to join the MCU canon. The MCU is also considering the Netflix Marvel series canon, opening up the possibility for Elodie Young's Elektra from Daredevil to enter the franchise. Young's portrayal allowed for a deeper exploration of Elektra's background, thanks to the series format. Laura Ward even portrayed Elektra as a young girl in 2005's Elektra film, showcasing the character's evolution across different adaptations. Mainframe's voice recast in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Miley Cyrus voiced Mainframe, a robotic head and member of Stakar Ogred's Ravagers. However, for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, voice actress Tara Strong took over the role as Cyrus was unavailable. Known for her versatile voice work, including Miss Minutes in Loki, Strong made the transition smooth, with Mainframe's slight vocal shift barely noticeable to audiences. In What If? Several key characters were recast from their live-action portrayals. After Tony Stark's death in Endgame, Mick Wingert took over the role of Iron Man for the animated series. Similarly, Captain America appeared as a skinnier version of Steve Rogers in an alternate timeline, voiced by Josh Keaton instead of Chris Evans. For Captain Marvel, Brie Larson was replaced by Alexandra Daniels in What If, though she returned to the MCU in The Marvels. Spiderman was voiced by Hudson Thames, stepping in for Tom Holland, and Black Widow's voice was handled by Lake Bell, rather than Scarlett Johansson. Drax was another recast, with Fred Tatasciore voicing the character instead of Dave Bautista, who had expressed disappointment over not being asked to participate. What If? Recast. General Ross was voiced by Michael Patrick McGill, not William Hurt, and Betty Ross was played by Stephanie Panisello instead of Liv Tyler. In the Killmonger episode, Obadiah Stane, originally portrayed by Jeff Bridges, was voiced by Kif Vanden Heuvel, and Pepper Potts was voiced by Beth Hoyt, standing in for Gwyneth Paltrow. The episode featuring T'Challa as Star-Lord saw Peter Quill voiced by Brian T. Delaney, not Chris Pratt. Ultron's villainous role was taken over by Ross Marquand, replacing James Spader, though Spader is set to return for the upcoming Vision series. Lastly, Shuri, usually played by Letitia Wright in the live-action films, was voiced by Ozioma Akaga in What If. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.